Are you ready? I said, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? As you can tell in the opening and the tell by you, yes, you watching this video, you know I'm ready. It's time for my seasonal NFL Week 1 predictions. Now, next week, the NFL season kicks off September 5th. Now, of course, we're still in the week for the preseason, but I figured, you know what? I already know who I'm picking in week 1. I may as well get this done early because I also have some other things I got to do next week, and I won't have time to do the video next week as I would like to. But with that being said, if you're one of my new subscribers, welcome. If you're one of my older subscribers, you know what I do. But for the new ones out there, just to give you a heads up, I always pick my Cowboys because that's my team. I'm always honest. I always believe you pick your team. So if you're going to hate on me for that, hey, fine. That's on you. Because we know you're going to pick your team to win as well. I just want to get that out there. Now, with that being said, let's start off the season. The first game I'm going to talk about is the Thursday night game. It is the Baltimore Ravens, the defending Super Bowl champions, taking on the Denver Broncos in Denver. Now, normally, the Super Bowl team has the home game, but due to the fact that the Orioles also play that same day, and the Orioles are still in the hunt for a wild card and could even win their division if they're lucky, NFL had to switch it around a bit. So Ravens had to travel to Denver. That being said, I got to take the Denver Broncos on this one. I mean, Baltimore, I think you're still going to do good this year. But you got a lot of new guys on defense. You lost your heart and soul in Ray Lewis. You do have another one who's taken his role very well. But I just don't know if you can beat Peyton Manning and the rest of the Broncos in Denver. That's a tall order in week 1. If you were at home, maybe I could see it. But I don't think you guys can beat the Broncos in Denver. I don't. I'm sorry. So I'll take the Broncos to win that one. Next. Of course, all these games are going to be on the September 8th. Patriots versus the Bills. I'm taking the Patriots. Yeah, I know they don't have Walker. They lost Hernandez. They really only have Kozlowski. But they have other people hopefully stepping up for them when the season starts. I know from reading people's freaking shit on Facebook that they have during the preseason. But again, it's preseason. Let me see what you can do when the lights are on bright and the season starts. Wins matter. As far as for the Bills, you're one of the 3 teams I look at, and I gotta be honest, I don't know how the fuck you're gonna get wins. Because your quarterback situation is all fucked up. Next, we got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Steelers. I'm actually taking the Titans on this one. I know they're the road team in this one. But I just feel the Titans overall, I don't know if they're better than the Steelers, but I think Titans, for some reason, I just feel like, this could be the team that shocks people. I don't think they're going to win the division. But I think they're going to, be in the chase. As far as for the Steelers, again, Steelers, you got Big Ben, you got all this, but I really haven't seen any of the Steelers fans talk during the preseason, So that does worry me a bit, but I'm also not buying the new Steelers team this year, at least not yet. So it's going to say. Next, Falcons taking on the Saints in New Orleans. I'm taking the Saints on this one. I feel last year the Saints, a lot of people had them even making the playoffs. They did not, but they still had a good year. And they didn't have a lot of their key players, other head coach. This year they got all that back. So I got to take the Saints on this one. It's very hard to bet against Drew Brees in the opening season, excluding last year. But I'm taking the Saints on this one. I think it'll be one of the best games of week 1. Falcons, they got all their returning pieces. So Falcons will be another team to watch this year. I think they can make it back. But keep your eye on the Saints. Saints win this one, though. Next, Buccaneers taking on the Jets. I'm taking the Buccaneers on this one. I'm sorry, Jets. You look like a freaking soap opera on CBS right now. No one knows who your quarterback's going to be. My God. It looks like a fucking it looks like Pee-wee's Funhouse over there in Jets land, but it's on crack. I'm sorry, Jets. There's no way in hell I'm picking you in this one. Next, Chiefs taking on the Jaguars. I'm taking the Chiefs. I love the fact that Andy Reid's there. Alex Smith. I think maybe this could be a good year for the Chiefs if all the pieces fall into place together. Next, Seahawks taking on the Panthers. I got to take the Seahawks on this one. They're definitely the better team overall. You know, a lot of people have been telling me, yo, Doug, don't count the Panthers out. They got Cam Newton. I'm going to be honest. Cam Newton, yeah, he can put up the yards. He hasn't missed any games. But, you know, my thing is, he has not shown up when the games matter, when you need to get those wins. You know, for playoff races and division races. They have not. So, I can't take that. Plus, Seattle's a real good team. Bears taking on the Bengals next in Chicago. I'm taking the Bears in this one. Normally, I would not. Because they got a new head coach. They lost Urlacher. He retired. Because I think he didn't want to lose Lovie Smith. I know a lot of Bears fans didn't want to lose Lovie Smith. Some did, some didn't. I'm still trying to figure out why you would fire Lovie Smith. I mean, I know why they did. Because I want to say, oh, we didn't make the playoffs. But hey, you got a winning season and missed the playoffs. You know how many other teams would have like that? And I'm not sold on this Bengals team. I know a lot of people saying the Bengals could be a threat. I look at the Bengals. I don't see it. I really don't. Again, that's just my opinion. I'm sure we all got different opinions on that. Next, the Miami Dolphins travel to Cleveland. I'm taking the Dolphins on this one. Yeah, Browns. Sorry. Next, Vikings taking on the Lions. Now, it's ironic here. You got two teams who are both on the Madden cover box. Of course, Madden came out yesterday for the PS3 and Xbox 360 and all that. You had the Lions on the cover. Granted, it's an old retired player, but it's still the Lions. As far as for the Vikings, well, they're on the next-gen consoles. PS4, Xbox One. So it's going to be funny to see if the Madden curses either one of these teams. But back to the pick. I'm taking the Vikings on this one. I mean, come on, Adrian Peterson. I know everyone likes Megatron and everything, but I'm sorry. Lions have never really been a team that I can say, ooh, they got a great shot at making the playoffs. No offense to anybody in Detroit, but that's just the way it is. I see it. Next, Colts taking on the Raiders. Take the fucking Colts, people. I'm sorry. Oakland. Again, I'm going to say the same thing for the Jets, and I said for the Bills. No one knows who your quarterback is at the moment for starting, and I'm sorry. I feel like when I'm watching, I'm just waiting for the yes, the Colts win this one. Next, Packers taking on the 49ers in San Francisco. Now, I know my buddy Travis, if he's watching, he's going to like this. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers on this one. You know, I know everyone's going to be taking the Niners, but you know what? I'm not buying into this Niners immediately. Because I think a lot of people are buying into them because of Kaepernick. My thing is, I want to see, Kaepernick got put in late near the end of the year last year. He had a good ride. I want to see what he can do when there's a whole schedule. Water. Next, it would be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the St. Louis Rams. Greg, your Rams better show up because I'm taking the Rams to beat the Cardinals. This is one of those games where both teams have a shot winning. Really, I don't think neither team, you know, I don't think anybody's really looking at one of these two teams like, ooh, there's a playoff threat. They could make the playoffs. I think most people that I've seen and talked to are like, yeah, these two teams will be battling for, you know, at least try not to have the worst season and not get the one pick. First pick in the draft. I'm taking the Rams. I like Sam Bradford. I like Fisher, who's the coach now, but I don't know how well they can do. Next, Sunday night game. Again, this should not be obvious. It's Giants versus the Cowboys. You just told me at the beginning. I'm taking my Cowboys to win this one. That's my team. That's all I got to say. I know everyone's going to be probably taking the Giants most likely, but it is what it is. Monday night, ESPN, we got two games. So, God, WWE, your ratings are going to suck that night. Game 1, it is the Eagles at the Redskins. Now, this was a hard pick for me, not because, I hate both teams. I mean, I respect the rivalry, but, like any fan would. But my problem with this one, you have the Eagles who, they're using a new system. They got a new head coach. Apparently, Michael Vick's the starter. I don't like that. Well, in the Skins situation, that's what everyone's presuming RG3 will be back playing. But again, we don't know because we haven't seen RG3 play in the fucking preseason. And that's what worries me right there with RG3. And Redskins, I don't know why. I know some of my friends who are Redskins fans have been like, oh, we don't want to risk the injury. I can understand that because there's been a lot of players who got hurt during the preseason. But on the flip side, at least put him in for a few plays to see what he can do in the preseason. Because I know everyone's like, well, but that's what practice is for. You know as to why I practice? Yeah, your teammates are not going to hit you that hard. Yeah, they may just tag you. And if I do think this is when the game he comes back, you're playing on a Monday night game when the lights are on bright. You're playing against a rival. Yes, you're at home, but it's a rival team. And right now, and everyone's here. Hell, there's even people thinking that the backup quarterback will be playing, not RG3. So there's a lot of questions there right now. I mean, a lot of the Skin fans I know, like, maybe the backup when he will be playing in week 1. Who knows? I really don't know. I mean, I hope RG3's the one because, everyone's been waiting for him to see him play again after he got hurt last year. And Mike Shanahan, I gotta ask this. What the fuck were you thinking yesterday when you said it was Super Bowl or bust? It's year 2 of the RG3 era. Okay, I'm not a Skins fan. But I'm sorry. That's putting way too much pressure on your team as a coach. You don't say that. Okay? Now, maybe Super Bowl bust for you if your contract's coming up, but it's not for the players. I mean, come on. You don't hear the Colts saying this. You sure don't hear Seattle, and I sure as hell don't think you're hearing the fucking 49ers saying this. Seriously, I'm sorry. If the Redskins don't make it, it's not a bust. Or if they make the playoffs and they get eliminated, it's not a bust. You would have a good year. Okay, shit. I don't know what Shanahan's thinking on that. As far as for my pick, I'm taking the Skins. I'm not sold on this new Eagles offense. So, hey, if the Eagles surprise me, hey, I'll tip my hat to you when we get to week 2 picks. Last Monday night game of week 1, the last game of week 1, I should say. Houston Texans taking on the Chargers. I'm taking the Texans on this one. I think overall they're the better team. San Diego has always underperformed. I know they got a new head coach and a lot of other new things going on, but I'm just not sold on this new Chargers team. Maybe that might change down the road, but as for now, I got to take the Texans. So just as a recap, I have the Broncos, Patriots, Titans, Saints, Buccaneers, Chiefs, Seahawks, Bears, Dolphins, Vikings, the Colts, Packers, Rams, the Dallas Cowboys, the Redskins, and the Houston Texans all getting the W in week 1. Now, of course, let me know what you think of my week 1 picks. Do you agree or disagree? And what teams are you taking? Let me know what you think. Until next time, when I see you for, of course, NFL week 2 predictions, which we'll be doing when we get near, which will be after the week 1 games. This is the DOUG signing off saying, have a good week, enjoy NFL week 4 of the preseason, and enjoy next week, NFL week 1 of the NFL season. Woo!